Nordhavn Europe have invited me down to have a look at this. It's a Nordhavn 52. This is a 2016 boat that they have for sale. And what's great about this is because it's out of the water, we can have a good look around at the underwater sections before we go on board. And what's immediately apparent is just how deep these boats sit in the water. It's a proper displacement speed cruiser. So there's a lot of boat in the water. These fellows here are the stabilizers. And you can also see the propeller and propeller shaft, and you can see how that is completely protected by the keel, which is a really good feature. Big rudder behind that. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you while we're out here before we go on board, when I put a Nordhavn video up once before, a few people complained it was a single engine boat, which they thought was unsuitable for long distance cruising, but actually it isn't, because although there is one main engine, there's also what they call a wing engine, and that is on this completely separate shaft just here. This is a folding propeller, so once it gets up to speed, this opens out, and that gives you a completely independent backup drive system if you need it. So although it is one main single engine, it's not in fact a single engine boat. It runs on the main engine, but with that as a backup. Anyway, let's go and have a look on board, because this is a really lovely machine and well worth taking a look at. Okay, let's head on up this ladder to the bathing platform and head on in. Now, what I love about these Nordhavns is just what a little ship feel you get from the moment you step on board. And the most obvious example of that is these really deeply bulwarked side decks. It really is like walking around a ship. There's engine station here, so if you're stern to berthing, you can control the thrusters and the engine from back here. And this then is just a big cockpit area. If you put seats and a table out or whatever you want to do with it. Anyway, let's head on inside and I'll show you the accommodation. First thing that greets us is this saloon area. Loads of seating in here and this beautiful woodwork. And a classic Nordhavn feature, wherever you go there's these big rails so that you can hang on and move around the boat when it's out at sea. And it's not just about passage making, it's about long-term living on board, which is why you've got this fabulous galley area. Now, I've been on boats before, the galley I felt is as good as my one at home, but this is better. Look at this hob. 5-burner hob there. You've got a proper oven underneath it and a microwave up above it. There's a massive fridge just here, and then there are freezer drawers beneath that. So loads of space. There's even a domestic dishwasher just there, and next to that is a trash compactor. So long time at sea, you can get everything really fastened down. And also in this area, over on the other side, domestic washer and dryer. So this is proper live on board stuff. Anyway, let's head on forward, because this takes us up to the bridge, which is another classic Nordhavn area. That is proper little ship stuff. It's fantastic, isn't it? These doors are a perfect example. Look at the way they've put these big sections here that lock it closed so it's completely watertight when you're out at sea. Same on the other side, of course. And then you've got a seating area at the back of this. There's even a little bed tucked behind there, so if you've got a couple of people doing a long distance delivery, people can grab a nap there but still be part of this main area. And then this is where, of course, you drive the boat from. Big, comfortable Stid helm seat. And you've got these 3 big screens here. Communications radios over there. More instrumentation across the top. This is the controls for the engine and for those bow and stern thrusters, but also over here is the completely separate cable controls for that wing engine. So that is independent in terms of its engine itself, of course, also the fuel it feeds from a different tank, and even the controls and manual controls rather than electronic controls. So in the event of any electronic problems, you've still got complete control over that. All of the ship's electronics are controlled from here, so that is your 240 systems and your ship systems just down there. Okay, let's head on down and we'll take a look at the lower deck. One thing worth mentioning as we go down here, again, big handrails here, and you've got more as you go down just here, and then another freezer. So massive space for food. So if you're doing long distance passages, you can got plenty of space for catering. Okay, let's head forward first. This is the guest cabin. Now you've got 2 beds in here. There's a double on this side, and then there is a single on that side. So you can either use this for two people who want single beds, or of course a double if a couple are using it, or if you've got a small family, then you can have parents over here and a young child in the other one, of course. Loads of storage in here. There's big wardrobes tucked away on either side. Other one just over there, of course. Plenty of room for gear, and this has its own ensuite, so that's in here, and that has a separate shower stall and of course sink, toilet and so on, so a really good usable size. Okay, so that is the guest cabin. Let's head on back and we'll take a look at the master cabin. So this is the owner cabin just here. Big windows in here. In fact, I think the windows in this one have been specced up slightly. And then on this side there is storage, of course. There's loads of drawers down here. There's a wardrobe, and then there are yet more drawers all the way down here. So you've got masses of storage on this boat all the way around. The ensuite is across behind this door. You've also got controls in here for your holding tank and your grey water tank, so gauges and actual discharge controls, and a toilet there, of course. And this, as you expect, has its own separate shower cubicle. Makes for some very comfortable living. But you might have noticed, intriguingly, there is another door in this cabin, and this again is another area which I think is classic Nordhavn. Take a look in here, because this is impressive. Now this, as they say, is a proper engine room. Masses of space in here. You can walk all the way around this engine. Now this is a John Deere engine. It's 266 horsepower, and that gives the boat about 9.5 knots flat out. But it also carries, in these massive tanks, you can see the sight gauges on the side, just there and just here, 6,500 litres of diesel. So that at 7.5 knots is giving you about 3,000 miles of range. So again, it's back to that proper long distance, serious cruising capability. This is this wing engine. This is a 40 horsepower wing engine. So this, if all else fails and you really are stuck, that is you get your home engine. Won't do 9.5 knots, I don't think, with that engine, but it will certainly give you enough speed to get you back. And then there's a huge Northern Lights generator on this side. And then at the back, I don't know if you can see it very well because it's a little dark, there's a massive storage area. And in fact, that's accessed from the aft deck. So the hatch you can see up above comes straight down into this area. You don't have to come through here to get to that, but it just gives you another access to it. Cool. So back out of here, but this is a fabulous area. This is classic Nordhavn. Let's head on around and we'll take a look at the deck spaces because they're pretty cool too. Okay. So we come out of this cabin back into the main passageway, and these stairs again, of course, are taking us back up to the bridge. And we'll head out onto the decks. So out here, this again is those classic Nordhavn, really bulwarked decks. And these take us up to the boat deck at the back. There's a huge crane on here. There's loads more room for seating if you want it, or put a table and chairs out, whatever you want to do. And this is a 12-foot rib on here with a 25 horsepower 4-stroke outboard, so you've got a really decent sized tender. So when you're done exploring, you want to head for shore, you've got that to do it with. And then ahead of this, there is the flybridge. Chimney top on top, so you've got plenty of shade. And then there's more seating here, and of course all your controls are repeated, and others big comfortable seats, and the view out of the front. Now, you don't have to go through the accommodation when you're going around the deck to get to this area, because if we head back down through the boat deck and back down the side, instead of going through the accommodation this time, what we will do is we will head forward, and there's a Portuguese bridge, and you've got the foredeck access, of course, from here as well. There's a door just here for that, but we can head right around the boat head down this side. This is the other door from the bridge area, and then steps here take us down and back to the aft deck, so you can get right around this boat without having to go through it. So that is it. That is the Nordhavn 52. I think that's an absolutely fabulous boat. Hope you've enjoyed that tour. I think it's been one really worth doing, and in fact we've got another Nordhavn video coming along soon as well, with a bit of luck. So if you'd like to click the little bell and the subscribe button, it'll notify you when that one arrives. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.